Good evening and welcome everybody to the meeting. Can I remind everyone that the meeting is being live streamed to YouTube. Item 1, apologies. Are there any apologies, please, for members not attending today?
Yes, I have apologies from Councillor Jeffries and can confirm that everyone else is present in the room.
Thank you. Item 2, declaration of interest. Can I ask if there's any declarations of interest at all from any members here? None? Thank you. Item 3, minutes. Can I ask if there's any matters arising or points of accuracy on these minutes? None? Thank you. Then I propose the minutes are adopted as a correct record. Can I ask for a seconder, please?
Councillor Purnell, happy to second.
Thank you. Can I ask for all those in favour of accepting these minutes to show hands? Thank you. Item 4, urgent items of business. Are there any urgent items of business?
No, none notified, Chair.
None. Okay. Thank you. We then come on to Cabinet decision items, and item 5 is the proposed programme to deliver large affordable homes. Can I ask the Councillor Purnell to present the report, please?
Thank you, Leader. I'm pleased to present this report, which aims to tackle one of the most urgent housing challenges in our borough, the severe shortage of larger affordable homes for families. As set out in our housing strategy 2023-28, many families are currently facing long waits, often exceeding 5 or 6 years, for suitable 3 and 4 bedroom properties. This has resulted in overcrowded living conditions and significant hardship for many residents. To address this report recommends a targeted acquisition programme, allocating 2.6 million from our Section 106 Affordable Housing Fund. This funding will enable a registered provider to purchase and manage 8 large family homes. In return, the council will secure nomination rights, ensuring that these homes are allocated to households on our housing register who are in greatest need. This approach is both timely and effective. It offers a faster solution than new build developments and makes strategic use of the funds earmarked for affordable housing. By focusing on larger family homes, we are responding directly to the priorities of this administration and the lived realities of our residents.
Thank you. Can I ask, please, Gráinne Siggins, Executive Director of People, if there's anything further to add?
Sorry, nothing further to add, Chair, after that comprehensive introduction by Councillor Purnell.
Thank you. Are there any members, have you any questions of the officers, please? Councillor Gilby?
Thank you, Chair. Under what criteria does right to acquire kick in?
Brian Daly will provide the response to that. He's online.
All right. Thank you.
Right to acquire applies to housing association properties, so there will be, I just need to get the full details for you on that one. Can I come back to you on that one, Councillor Gilby, in a few minutes?
Thank you.
Can you answer another question, Councillor Wright, as well as doing 2 things at once? Oh, no. Who's? Oh, Councillor Neil.
Thank you. How many people waiting for 3 and 4 bedroom homes are existing social housing tenants, and how many would be in severe housing need, as in severely overcrowded or urgent medical need to move? Thank you.
No problem. I can answer that one. So at the moment, we've got 234 households on the housing register. Is a local Bracknell household seeking 3-bedroom accommodation. And again, the same for local households. There's 30 households seeking 4-bedroom properties. Of that, around 56% of those that are seeking 3 bedrooms are looking for, or on people that are on the transfer list. So they're existing social rented homes with ABRI, Southern Housing or other housing associations. And approximately half of those seeking the 4-bedroom homes are in existing social housing tenancies. And the final part of the question were 7 of the 30 households that are seeking 4-bedroom homes are in Band A of the housing register, and that's those that are in the most severe housing needs. So they'll be severely overcrowded or have severe and acute medical needs, reasons to move. And for 3 bedrooms, 8 of the households that are seeking 3 bedrooms are in the Band A again. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Can I ask, please, how many 3 and 4 bedroom houses did we have last year, please, or the year and the year before? How many have we got each year?
Yep, no problem. So on average, I think it's in the paper, there have been 31 households, 3 bedrooms over the last few years. So I think last year there was, the exact number was 43 3 bedrooms and 5 4 bedrooms were available for letting. In 23, 24, there were 50 3 bedroom properties and 5 4 bedroom properties. And the year before that, which was 22, 23, there were 31 3 bedrooms and 3 4 bedroom properties that were let.
Thank you. Can I ask that this policy, it really emphasises the need to have social housing and to go for social rent. Is there any chance of social rent becoming affordable rent? How can we keep it at social rent? Because there's such a good evidence that keeping it at social rent helps families keep out of debt and enables them to improve the quality of their life.
So the proposal for this scheme would be for the properties to be let at social rent in perpetuity. So for forever, basically. So every time the properties are re-let, they will be let at a social rent. There is no possibility of them changing to affordable rent.
Good news, thank you. And I'm fully in support of this development and all the rest of it, but what worries me is that it's a bit of a get out for people who are building affordable homes and then saying they can't make the viability fall, so they can't afford affordable homes. So what sort of control have we got to absolutely ensure developers have to build according to our 35% affordable homes on every development whenever we can? What is the exceptions that enable them to come forward? And so we've acquired this money.
It's more of a question for my colleagues in the planning service. However, there are robust procedures and policies in place to ensure. So when a developer is trying not able to provide affordable housing on site due to viability concerns, they have to have a fully costed argument and reasons and evidence as to why that affordable housing cannot be provided on that site, which is challenged usually, or to be challenged by the planning service. But unfortunately, my planning colleagues will be able to answer that more fully for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are there any more questions? None? Oh, Councillor Gilby, can you give Councillor Gilby's answer now?
Okay, so the right to acquire is becomes eligible if you've had a public sector landlord for 3 years. So if you've had a housing association tenancy for more than 3 years, you then are eligible for the right to acquire. However, the right to acquire is different to the right to buy. The discounts available for the right to acquire are significantly less. So the right to acquire discount for the Bracknell Forest area is a maximum discount of £13,500, whereas for right to buy, the maximum discount is £38,000 for the southeast of England.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? No, thank you. Can I ask then, please, for a member to move the recommendation 3.1 and 3.2 on page 11? Councillor Purnell?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'd like to move. Thank you.
Can I ask for a seconder?
Councillor Wright, I'm happy to second. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Purnell, would you like to speak, please?
Thank you, Leader. I am immensely proud to be bringing this paper to Cabinet this evening. There are too many families in this borough living in unsuitable and overcrowded accommodation for many years. It is well known that registered providers do not have enough stock of 3 and 4 bedroom homes, with families having to wait in some instances over 6 years. No child should have to be living in unsuitable accommodation for that long. This is why we must use 2.6 million of Section 106 funding to secure homes for these families and dramatically improve so many aspects of their life. It's widely documented that a stable and suitable home can improve health and well-being, boost unemployment and improve education outcomes. Families can finally put down roots and become part of a community. These homes will also be provided at social rent levels, ensuring that they are affordable for all of the families in need. The money from Section 106 contributions must be used to provide housing stock, and therefore this is a proper and sensible use of these funds. This paper is proof that a Labour Council delivers on its priority to deliver central rented homes for families in the borough. I urge my fellow Cabinet members to support this proposal this evening.
Thank you. Can the seconder like to speak? Councillor Wright?
Thank you, Leader. I'd just like to add, I completely support what Councillor Purnell said. I'd just like to add that this is also part of larger initiatives that we've brought in the last couple of years, including incentives to help people downsize, so people that are in social homes that are wanting to move to a smaller accommodation. We've got a new programme to help people who'd like to downsize. We've also had quite a few initiatives from local social housing bodies to improve to have a quicker turnaround on empty properties so that they're not sitting empty for so long waiting to be refurbished. So this is all part of a bigger move to see our housing waiting list come down, and so far it seems to be succeeding. And it's also important to emphasise that these houses are being bought with what's called Section 106 money, which is funding from developers. It's not coming from council tax remittance, it's coming from developers to help our borough, and it's really good to see it spent in this way and helping those most in need. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? I would just like to say that I'm fully in support of this. We desperately need 3 and 4 bedroom houses for our larger families. The families on the waiting list in most places, and I really think that this is for social rent, and I think this money has to be spent on these this sort of house, this affordable houses, social housing, and I think we're doing a lot to try and improve the number. But this is a way of getting these houses quicker than any other developer could provide. So I'm fully in support of this. Would anyone else like to speak? None? Would the mover like to wind up, please?
Yeah, thank you, Leader. I think you put it really well then. We are in desperate need of 3 and 4 bedroom houses, and this is a quick win, if you like, a way to get 8 of them and families with better living conditions.
Thank you. Can I also ask all those in favour of these recommendations to raise their hand, please? Thank you. Thank you. We then move on to item 8, which is the Domestic Abuse Strategy 2026 to 31, which is a public consultation. Can I ask the Cabinet Member to present the report, please?
Thank you, Leader. Domestic abuse affects over 2 million adults annually in the UK, causing significant and often hidden harm to victims, both adults and children, families and families and communities. In Bracknell Forest, we are resolute in our commitment to tackling domestic abuse through strong partnerships to focus on prevention, protection and holding perpetrators accountable, as outlined in our draft priorities. We also recognise the vital role of our residents. Many have lived experience in shaping effective responses. Their involvement is essential to the success of our strategy. This public consultation is a crucial step. We need to hear directly from our communities to ensure the strategy reflects real concerns and identifies meaningful opportunities for change. Together, we can build a safer, more compassionate Bracknell Forest.
Thank you. Can I ask the Grania Siggins, please, again, the Executive Director for People, if you have anything further to add?
Just briefly, so thank you, Chair. Just to acknowledge the engagement and involvement of a whole range of people in development of the draft strategy, and thank Alison and Sophie for the work in leading that. And just to note that following the period of consultation, the report will be amended, revised and brought forward back to Cabinet for consideration and then hopefully approval. Alison and Sophie are here tonight to answer any detailed questions. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome to both. Can I ask if anyone's got any questions, please? None at all? Okay, well, thank you for coming. I noticed, obviously this is a partnership, and the police have put out a report, I think it was yesterday, they sent it to me, saying how active they've been in the area and across Berkshire since May, and the number of arrests, the number of cases they've opened, the number of the support they've given. So it's obviously a huge priority with the police as well. So they've been working with you on this strategy, I guess, to make sure that it's thorough as well. Is that
Yes.
Is that that's a question I'd like answered. That they work
Yes.
thoroughly with you, please?
Absolutely. The DA Executive Board, which has overseen the development of the strategy, is chaired by Thames Valley Police, and they are an active partner in that board group.
Thank you. Councillor Wright?
Thank you. Just a quick question about domestic abuse. Quite often signs of it are very early in when people are quite young, and I was just wondering how much work you're going to be doing with schools about raising awareness and involving them in consultations, because I think quite often coercive and controlling behaviour comes quite early in a relationship, and it would just be good to know what your strategy is with reaching young people. Thank you.
Yes, that's fine. So we're about to launch a new program called Escape the Trap, which is going to be aimed at children from the age of 12 up to adult age of 25, where they can be referred in through schools and other professional services to understand what comprises a healthy relationship, what support they can get, and any other sort of support that they might need as part of their relationship. So that's something that we do have launching in coming weeks. We also have quite a lot of work going through our education colleagues who are also part of our DA Executive Board. So we will present at designated safeguarding leads meetings, and they are an active part of our service development as part of the board work.
Thank you. Councillor Wright, another question?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask about how you're planning to engage housing officers as well, because I think quite often they're the people that will first become aware of domestic abuse situations, and I just wondered if there's any plans there to engage them. Thank you.
Our largest housing provider in Bracknell Forest, which is Abri, is already a member of the DA Executive Board. So we have them on board already.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I ask the Cabinet Member to move this recommendation, please?
Happy to move.
Can I have a seconder? I will second this. Thank you. Would the mover like to speak?
Thank you, Leader. Domestic abuse can affect anyone. It doesn't discriminate. This strategy is timely, especially considering the rise of misogyny and the increase of violence towards women and girls, both of which are a scourge on society and must be faced head-on. We want to consult with residents because their input is vital for this strategy to be effective. The survey will last for 8 weeks, and that will include the 16 days of activism and the White Ribbon event. This event will take place in the town centre and is a time to raise awareness about preventing gender-based violence. The theme this year is We Speak Up, and the goal is to encourage men to challenge sexism and other harmful behaviours which can have serious consequences if left unchallenged. I hope to see all those there who want to get involved and do more for the safety of women and girls. I urge my fellow Cabinet members to vote with me this evening on approving this consultation, an important step towards the final strategy. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this consultation that you've done and this strategy is a really, really important piece of work, and I thank all those involved in getting it this far. The community, it's been involved with in consultation already with strategic agencies, the community sector, and those with lived experience. The priorities, I don't think anyone could ever disagree with: prevention, early intervention, support for victims and survivors, and pursue by holding perpetrators accountable and partnership working. The strategy is essential to try and support victims to realise help and support is there, and to break the stigma of coming forward. Coming forward is a very courageous thing to do, because there's always the fear it could make things worse. Recognising this and helping people support this is really essential. The actions proposed relieve this fear. We all need to talk more about this issue and to bring it out into the open, so actually it becomes correct and accessible, and everybody feels they can talk about it and own up and report their experiences. This strategy will help us do that. I fully support it. Would anyone else like to speak? Councillor Bailey?
Yes, Councillor Roy Bailey. As a criminologist, I'm painfully only too aware of the consequences of domestic violence. About 70% of all recorded homicides come as a direct result of domestic violence. It's not a minor issue, it's a very serious issue. And I'm delighted to support my Cabinet colleagues in the Council in supporting this programme. It's a curse on our society, and we need to be seen to be doing all we can to rid ourselves of that curse. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? No? Can I ask Councillor Purnell to wind up, please?
Yeah, thank you, Leader. Nothing further to add. I just hope that everyone can vote with us this evening and approve this consultation to go ahead. Thank you.
In favour of the recommendation 3.1 to 3.1 and 3.2 on page 17 to raise their hands. Thank you. We now move on to item 7, the community strategy, and to open this up to consultation. Can I ask the Cabinet member to present the report, please? Cabinet Purnell, it's an easy full night for you tonight.
Thank you, Leader. Bracknell Forest Council and its partners are developing a 10 years community strategy to build strong, resilient, connected and cohesive communities. This work is being led by the Communities Partnership, with strategic oversight and collaboration from a wide range of partners. The strategy was launched at a community conference in March 25, followed by the formation of a delivery group chaired by the Chief Executive of Involved Community Services. This group includes representatives from the voluntary sector, faith groups, businesses, emergency services, health, leisure, education and the arts. Between March and September 25, an extensive engagement phase was carried out to understand community needs and aspirations, during which over 2,300 responses were received from residents across the borough. Activities included surveys, interactive stands at public events and targeted workshops, ensuring a good representation across age groups and ethnic backgrounds. Feedback obtained from this phase has shaped the draft vision, aims and objectives of the strategy. The next step, which this paper is recommending, is a 6-week public consultation starting on the 5th of November, tomorrow, hosted on the Council's consultation portal. Feedback will inform the final strategy and its initial action plan, which will focus on quick impact projects and long-term goals. The strategy will be delivered through a collaborative approach, empowering residents and communities to act and contribute to its success.
Thank you. Can I ask Catalan Boja's Head of Policy, or Abby, to come and talk to us about this strategy, please?
Thank you, Leader. This strategy has been developed by the community with extensive co-production and community engagement, and it will need to involve all of us across the community, all partner organisations, residents, those that live and work in the borough, in delivering the strong, connected and cohesive communities that we're looking to further develop over the next 10 years. We're really keen to hear the views of residents over the consultation period and gain their ideas on how the strategy should be actioned and the part that they can play in delivering and supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the officer at all? None? Oh yeah, Councillor Wright.
It's really good to see this consultation going out, but I know that in designing the community strategy prior to consultation, you managed to speak to lots of people already. Have you any idea of the numbers you managed to speak to in designing the strategy? Thank you.
The partnership heard from over 2,300 voices across the borough, and that included a significant amount of engagement with young people and children as well through schools and the college. So broadly a representative sample in terms of geography and the sort of population makeup of the borough.
Thank you.
Any more questions? None? Okay, thank you. Would you like to move this then, please?
Happy to move.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? I'll second it. Thank you.
No.
I'll second it. That's me. Thank you. Would the mover like to speak?
Thank you. I'm so excited about this community strategy. We had the pleasure of engaging with over 2,300 residents over the summer who had their opportunity honestly and openly tell us their needs and aspirations for the next 10 years. We are so incredibly grateful to everyone who took the time to share their thoughts with us. This precious data has been used to draft the vision, aims and objectives. And I want to reiterate at this point that it is not the council alone who has done this work. The delivery group is made up of over 20 different partners, and they pored over the data and the insights and worked together to produce the vision, aims and objectives, which are designed to match what we have been told by the residents. The aim of this consultation is to double check back in with residents to make sure that we have done them justice, to also engage with those who we didn't reach during the summer so that they too can have their say, and finally to start building a commitment with our residents to take this strategy forward. A community strategy has never been more important. We have such a wonderful borough with unique and diverse communities that if we can tap into their needs and aspirations and work together, we can do so much more than we could alone. I urge you all to vote through the recommendations on this paper and now allow us, our amazing residents and partners, to continue to work together to create a stronger, empowered community.
Thank you. For me, speaking on this, I actually took part in the consultation of this at Southwood Park Food and Music Festival. And I must say it's one of the easiest things I've ever taken part in a consultation because it was all so positive. The residents were asked about their aspirations, their needs, their concerns, and the importance of living in Bracknell and what was great about it and the importance of building stronger communities. The response has been very, very positive. And if you're in a negative mood one day, just read through the responses of this because it is really cheers you up. This is a good place to live and people realise it. It's a strategy produced by a partnership of representatives from business, faith groups, emergency services, leisure education, as we've heard, art, volunteer section, the council. It's really a community co-production. Action plans will follow, empowering our residents, and we all need to get behind this because the people want to live in stronger communities. Would anyone else like to speak? Can I ask you to wind up then?
Yeah, thank you, Leader. I have nothing further to add.
Can I ask all those in favour of the moving the recommendations 31233 on page 69 to 70 to raise your hands, please? Thank you. We then move on to item 8, which is the Learning Improvement Strategy. Can I ask the Cabinet Member to present this, please?
Yes, Councillor Roy Bailey. Thank you, Leader. Improving outcomes for all Bracknell Forest children is a key priority for the Council. Although most children and young people in Bracknell Forest achieve well, those who currently present as vulnerable or have SEND lag behind their peers. The overarching aim of this strategy is to improve outcomes for all children and young people, including those that currently present as vulnerable and those with SEND. The 6 priorities within the strategy are supported, including promoting a culture of inclusion and equity and acknowledging the need to work in partnership to ensure that all children and young people attend a high-quality school or setting and have access to education and training that meets their needs. By raising attainment of our most vulnerable children, we aim to improve the educational outcomes for all Bracknell Forest children and young people. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask the officer, please, Gronya Sikin, the Executive Director, people, if you have anything to add?
Thank you, Chair. And just to note that Zoe Livingston, our Head of Standards, who's led the development of the draft strategy, is with us tonight to answer any detailed questions. But in terms of moving this forward in a little bit more detail, our commitment to improving educational outcomes for children, young people and Bracknell cannot be understated. And the importance of ensuring that our most vulnerable children, as part of that, are front and centre. I think it is viewed that by raising the standards for our most vulnerable, we'll raise the standards for all. The previous strategy was very successful in ensuring that we got to a position where we had 100% good or outstanding schools. So there's been a slight reframing and focus of the intent behind this strategy in terms of improving outcomes for all of our children. The critical element of this moving forward is going to be how we work in partnership with our family of schools in Bracknell and our education leaders, because obviously our role is somewhat diminished to what it was some decades ago in terms of the role of the local authorities. So we cannot understate partnership, and we have very strong partnerships which Zoe has been engaging with in order to maximise the input into the strategy thus far. So any further detailed questions, then please direct to Zoe. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions, please, for Zoe? Okay, Councillor Purnell.
Thank you, Leader. This is an absolutely fantastic strategy. It's really lovely to read, and I fully agree and endorse that we should be giving assistance to our vulnerable children. How do we ensure that by giving this assistance to the vulnerable children that we don't neglect our duty to the other children as well?
I think the key thing about most of the strategies and the actions that are set out within this strategy are they are initiatives that, while they're targeted at improving outcomes for disadvantaged children and those with SEND, they will improve outcomes for all. So the metaphor that's often used is that a rising tide will lift all ships. So when you think about the quality of teaching in schools, for example, those children who've had all of the benefits and advantages that might come their way through their childhood, if there are inconsistencies or weaknesses in the quality of teaching, it has a very minimal impact on them. If the teaching is consistently strong, those disadvantaged children will thrive, whereas if there are weaknesses in the teaching, they are disproportionately affected. So all of the strategies that are in place and the actions within the strategy are actions that don't take anything away from other children. They are strategies that will benefit all, but have a disproportionately beneficial effect on those disadvantaged and vulnerable children.
Thank you, Zoe.
Councillor Wright.
Thank you for this great report. I just wanted to ask a little bit more about that Education Partnership Board, and who do you envisage sitting on that board, and how much influence do you think we'll have across the borough using that board model?
I think the membership of the board is critical. I think it will be a key decider in how successful the strategy is. It's important particularly that the multi-academy trusts that are represented within Bracknell Forest sit on that board. So there needs to be head teachers from our maintained schools, head teachers from our academy schools, but also key CEOs and leaders from the trusts that have schools within Bracknell Forest. I think it's important that we have wider stakeholders from our post-16 providers, training providers, education, employment partners, our early years settings, but also wider partners that work with our schools, for example, like the diocese. But I think it's really important that that board has a true partnership role in driving forward the strategic priorities set out in this strategy, and that they are responsible for monitoring of its ongoing implementation. This second round, the strategy was developed as a result of quite an extensive consultation piece in the first instance. I think this second consultation, with a particular focus with some of those education stakeholders on the action plan, will also be really important in securing that ownership for the actions within the draft action plan from those different stakeholders. And going forward, the partnership board will be key in that driving forward of it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Are there any other questions? Can I ask, did you have full cooperation with the academy heads and other heads right the way across the board when you were doing this to start off? Because this whole thing depends on everybody being involved now and taking it on. And were you assured of all that as you were doing the consultation to set this up?
So in the initial consultation, we used forums such as the head teacher briefing, the chairs of governors briefing, the chairs briefing. We did consultation sessions, separate consultation sessions with governors. We used the SENCO forum, and all of those networks and forums are attended by maintained schools and academies. So we feel through that initial phase, we had good engagement with both our maintained schools and academies, but that's all the more important in this next stage when the focus is about implementation for some of our stakeholders and about the action plan and the ownership of it. I'm hoping that should the strategy be approved for further consultation, I will be able to proceed with some draft engagement activities that have initially been discussed with some stakeholders. And one of those involves working with the secondary heads, the vast majority of whom are academies and have agreed that they will come together to discuss this with us. So we've already got some good headway in terms of the next round of consultation.
Excellent, thank you. Are there any other questions? Can I ask Councillor Bailey to move this then, please?
Yes, Leader, I move this.
And ask for a seconder. I think that's me. So I'll second this. Thank you. Would you like to speak, Councillor Bailey?
Yes, yep, thank you. As Zoe has so comprehensively set out, this learning improvement strategy has been developed following extensive consultation with stakeholders who share responsibility for its implementation. The key stakeholders include the local authority, maintained schools and academies, early years settings, post-16 colleges, training providers, alternative provision providers, employers and parents and carers. The strategy aims to foster a collaborative and inclusive approach to education, benefiting all children and young people, recognising that only by working in partnership can these persistent gaps be tackled. The draft strategy, which has been carefully and rigorously considered, will now go for extensive consultation with all relevant stakeholders, including especially parent carers, for final comments and submission to Cabinet. I commend the education team, particularly Zoe and the staff, for their care, rigour and insight into the presentation of this key draft strategy. There is a clear ambition to raise the educational standards for all. Maintenance of the status quo is not an option. Thank you.
I'd like to agree and second this recommendation to get this improvement strategy out to consultation. It's for all children and young people, and it's been co-produced with an input from lots of people most people with a vested interest. The actual 6 priorities on page 95, I think few would argue against as being absolutely essential. There's an action plan to implement them and monitor the success. As we've already said, the success will depend on buy-in from all our school leaders, and I think that sounds their buy-in sounds very positive. Also, this strategy can be adapted as needed to reflect legislative change or national priorities, and unfortunately the SEND strategy is postponed for a while, but then when it comes through it will obviously be able to be this strategy can be adapted to meet the new requirements. So I think the whole thing is an excellent strategy to go forward and raise the standards across the board. And I'm very, very supportive of it. Would the mover like to speak, wind up?
Nothing further to add other than to thank once again Zoe and her team for an excellent report. Thank you.
Can I ask all those in favour of moving the recommendation 3.1 and 3.2 on page 93 to raise your hands, please? Thank you. Then that is the end of this meeting. Can I ask the Democratic Services Officer, please, to shut the live streaming?